Hi everyone, so this is one of the first pace and draw profile videos that I'm going to start and do. Probably going to do these weekly, looking at like a feature race from a Saturday or one of the feature races coming up on a Saturday. I'm not in Jason Hadigan's crack den. I'm actually just in a hotel in Budapest, but as you can see, lovely curtains and all that sort of shit. I want to talk about the Beverley Bullet on Saturday. It's a really good one to start with because we've got quite a significant draw bias at Beverley and also quite a significant pace bias at Beverley to play with. So I'm just going to take you through that. We're going to start with the draw before we get into it. I'm just going to share my screen. Right, you should be able to see this now. Right, so this is the draw analysis for the last 11 runnings of the Beverley Bullet. And so what you can see down the bottom is the draw segments: quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. So quarter one is kind of like stalls 1 to 4 probably generally. And what you can see on the blue line is a massive kind of win bias, 23.33% towards the lower quarter of the draw. That's also echoed in the pace in the place bias as well. So the place bias is the orange line, and you effectively can see a complete correlation or reflection between the win ratio and the place ratio of horses based on the draw that they received for the Beverley Bullet. So summary there, as it is with Beverley in general, but particularly for this race, the Beverley Bullet, recommendation for Saturday: quarter one of the draw is the place to be. Betting win, betting each way. You really want your horse to be there. I'll also show you how it looks in terms of betting returns. So this is a graph that shows you the kind of actual returns versus the expected returns based on Betfair's starting price. So if you take the angle that the Betfair starting price market is the most informed market out there and accurately reflects the chances that a horse has to win, or its probability that will likely win. And actually, if you look over 10,000 races and you look at the price of horses and their percentage likelihood of winning, it actually correlates really closely between the starting price on the Betfair exchange. Actually, quite scary how accurate it is, because by the time of the off on the exchange, you've got all of that opinion. So you've got the yard opinion coming in the market, you've got the owner's opinion coming in the market, you've got opinion from tipsters coming into the market, you've got the form opinion from the papers and the form readers as well. So the Betfair exchange is the most informed opinion you will ever get on a horse at the off. What you see there, though, again, quarter one is completely echoed in its actual returns versus expected returns based on what we saw in the win and place ratio before. So actually that 2.17 means that the actual returns are more than 2 times better than the expected returns based on starting price of the horses. So mega bias. Quarter one is absolutely the place to be. I also took a look at the last 5 run-ins of the Beverley Bullet and pulled out the pace profile of the top 2 horses. So you'll see in 2018, the horse that finished first, that was Take Cover, made all. Horse that finished second was Prominent and tracked Take Cover through that race. 2017, the horse that finished first was Take Cover, again making all. Second placed horse tracked in through the race. 2016, the top 2 were always Prominent in the pace of the race. 2015 was a bit of an anomaly. You had a horse ridden by Jamie Spencer, Maxib, I think, or something like that, came from the rear and won in kind of a bit of an unexpected turn up. But maybe that was kind of a Spencer-esque masterclass on a hold-up horse. Very surprising at Beverley, but fair play to him there. But the second also was Prominent and chased leaders. And in 2014, the first horse made all. And again, a bit of a surprise, the second placed horse was held up. But you can see there's a general make all, very prominent bias for the horses. We'll even go and look at a couple of videos then, and I'll show you. So this is Take Cover's win last year. So what you're looking for is you're looking for Take Cover from stall 7, I think. No, there he is. No, he's from stall 9. And the second place horse is here coming from stall 1. So just pause it here, right? Finishes first, finishes second. Just take notice of how much ground any of these manage to make up. It's really not significant at all. I think you get the gist. So that's finished. But Take Cover goes and wins. And I think that's Final Venture who finishes second. No, it's not. It's Mythmaker that finishes second. Let's take a look at Take Cover's win the year before. He's coming out in 2. I think the horse in 7 finishes second. Yeah, that's Final Venture. Yeah, the year before. So he's coming from quarter 1. He's come out prominent. He's getting that rail. Final Venture's come from 7. So he's come from 7, and he's effectively done what Take Cover did the year after. He's come across prominently, and they're coming up to this turn. And 1 and 2 are both effectively in the finishing positions where they end up. So same thing as last time. Look at these two. Look at the rest of them. They'll pretty much finish up where they are at this point in the race, at the line. So let's take a look at this year. Let's take a look at the profile of some of them that are prominent in the betting. Of course, we don't know the draw yet until Thursday morning, so keep a keen eye on that. So at the front of the market, we've got Tis Marvelous, probably likely to be prominent. Danzino, I think, is in there at second fav. He can be very slow into stride, so I'd definitely discount him, to be honest. Tarbouche, they tend to ride Tarbouche whatever way the general track bias is with relation to pace. Sometimes he'll be prominent, sometimes he'll be held up. I would expect that they'll ride Tarbouche prominently because of the track bias at Ripon. Equilateral has dwelt a lot and has been held up quite a lot. And even though he's a group horse and he's been in group races, I wouldn't be having him on his pace profile for this. El Astronaute will be prominent. Copper Knight will be prominent. Judicial will be prominent. Ornate's really interesting. Entered here and could ping out like he's been doing in some of these decent sprint races. Was in the Nunthorpe last week and could make all. Could be really interesting for me if Ornate shows up here. Intense Romance is also really interesting. Is likely to lead Aubrey very prominent as well. So tip on the pace profile for the Beverley Bullet, quarter 1 in relation to stalls, and you want to see one of these ones that's going to race prominent or even lead if you're looking for a bet in the race. And that's it. I'm going to do these every week. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.